Hi, I'm Jeff Berger, and I'm here with Misa Hopkins to talk about her new book, Sacred Feminine Awakening, The Emergence of Compassion. Misa, what is the Sacred Feminine?
As far back as 1400 BC, the Chinese were describing yin or sacred feminine energy for us. So think of space, the night sky. It's the primordial womb from which all life comes, from supernovas to humans and to plants, animals. We are all born from this darkness that we call space. Now that space is inside of us and outside of us. Scientists now tell us we are more space than we are vibrations that make up the illusion of physical reality. Its nature is still, receptive, and compassionate.
So does that imply that the divine is feminine in nature?
The divine is both feminine or yin in nature as well as masculine or yang, which is light, action, achievement, bliss, and self-awareness. Think of light moving rapidly, ecstatically through space, and you have a concept of the sacred masculine. So the darkness is the embodiment of the sacred feminine. The light is the embodiment of the sacred masculine.
How does the sacred feminine fit in a world of multiple religions and spiritual seekers?
The sacred feminine is an energetic and spiritual experience that existed before religions attempted to define it. And we experience examples of it, even personified, in many faiths. Right now, one of its fundamental traits, compassion, is gaining momentum among people who have spiritual practices and those who do not, as we seek greater fulfillment in our lives.
Why did you write this book, and why did you write it now?
For thousands of years, humanity has been motivated and inspired by sacred masculine energy. We see the positive evidence of this in many areas of our lives, including achievements in scientific discoveries and technical advances. But our emphasis on valuing achievement creates a side effect, a propensity to achieve ourselves to death in the hope that our work will substantiate our value. Through the qualities of sacred feminine energy, we know what it means to be valued for who we are rather than by what we do. When we know that we have worth regardless of what we do or do not accomplish, the way that we express ourselves in the world changes. We do not achieve for achievement's sake alone, but rather as an expression of profound divine love. When sacred feminine and masculine energies are in balance, we are able to thrive in the fulfillment of our true potential.
What can people expect to experience from reading your book?
Compassion, an expression of sacred feminine, is getting a lot of our attention today because we know it is needed to solve many of our problems in the world. And we tend to think living in compassion is easy. Just live in compassion and everything is good. The problem is that compassion is a form of love that can be very difficult to feel when you most need to. The limitless nature of sacred feminine love is more than something you want to feel occasionally, and it's more than a mystical concept. It's an actual field of consciousness that lives within you and around you. Living from it, feeling it, and knowing it as a part of who you are is something that can be cultivated if you know how.
So how do we access the sacred feminine?
In my book, Sacred Feminine Awakening, The Emergence of Compassion, I share with you how to stimulate its life force inside you. I share with you an ancient technique within the sacred feminine that men and women are learning today. And in the process of working with this, they are experiencing issues they've had their entire lives dissolving away. Issues that once caused them a lot of emotional and physical pain are now gone. They're finally free to live the vital and joyful lives they've always wanted. I welcome readers to discover for themselves the healing and awakening that is waiting for all of us as we discover the limitless, compassionate depths of the sacred feminine inside of ourselves.
Thank you, Misa, for writing this book and for sharing these powerful concepts with us. And thank you for joining us.